Hi guys, welcome back to Vlogmas day 5. I was not expecting to film this video, but I am taking a break from all the stuff that I'm doing right now, and it just felt like the right time to sit down. I'm gonna try hard not to cry, but this has like been a really hard decision and it's just coming so soon, and I'm like I'm not ready for it and I'm not prepared. But I wanted to just sit down and kind of make a video on its own explaining kind of what is happening next week and why it's happening. I am moving to Colorado on the 9th, December 9th, for 4 months at least. And I'm going alone. John's not coming with me. Basically, it's because I got a job offer that I just really couldn't refuse. It pays really well. My housing is paid for. So it just gives me an opportunity to work and make a lot of money in a very short time, which is really good just because I'm gonna be honest, I'm 24 and I have a lot of credit card debt and stupid decisions I've made. But it all kind of just happened really quickly. And John can't come with me. We've been dating for almost 2 years and the longest we've been apart is 7 days. And so obviously when you spend almost 2 full years with somebody every single day, like, you're gonna get attached. This is like a lot harder to talk about than I thought. I know that going to Colorado is gonna be a good thing ultimately, but I'm like so terrified to leave him and be without him. And of course, like, the 4 months that I'm going are like the most important months out of our year. We're missing Christmas together, we're missing New Year's together, we're missing Valentine's Day together, we're missing our anniversary together, and then we're also missing his birthday. Of course, like, he's planning on visiting and I'll come back here and visit and stuff, but it's just not the same. And I'm like not someone who enjoys change, and this is like a really big change. This year has been like understandably really hard for a lot of people. I think most people actually, like a majority of the world's population has suffered this year, and in different ways, but it's just been a hard year for me. Started the year off working at a really abusive job and then got laid off because of COVID, and then we ended up having to like vacate our apartment within a couple of days for safety reasons. We were homeless for a week, and now we've been living with John's parents at a new house that they bought. And then I got a new job and I hadn't been working for 8 months, so going back to work during a pandemic was an experience in itself, and it started off really good, and then I quit my job because it was just not the right fit for me. And like, I've just come to realize that like this year has taught me so many things, but it's also taught me like what I want out of my life, and a 9-to-5 is not one of them. It's also shown me that I struggle with things that I've never struggled with before. Social anxiety in general. Like, this year I've never had this much anxiety in my entire life, and I've like heavily relied on John. He's my rock. For most people, they might think that like codependency is like a really negative thing and that we're too dependent on each other, but we genuinely make the other half a better person. Before I met John, like, I had really bad night terrors. I would never sleep. I was on some pretty heavy like sleeping medications and just medications in general for depression and anxiety. And within 6 months of meeting him, I was completely taken off all of my medicine. I was able to sleep through the night completely. I stopped having nightmares. He's helped me overcome some of the hardest things that I've had to experience. I've talked about it before, but like, I'm a survivor of sexual assault, and like that shit fucked me up for a long time. That's where like a majority of my depression and my anxiety comes from, was the PTSD from the sexual abuse that I endured. And I was like terrified of intimacy for so long, and he's helped me like overcome that. And like, he just treats me with such respect and so much love, like more love than I've ever experienced in my entire life. And so to have to make the decision to leave him for an extended period of time was a really hard decision to make. But we both agreed it was the best thing for us. And we're not breaking up or anything, but I've never done long distance, neither has he. I have done somewhat of a long distance thing with this guy that I met from Australia, and it ended so ugly and I got my heart absolutely shattered. So I'm just like scared that when I leave I'm never gonna see him again, or that we're gonna grow apart, or that, you know, some of the issues I've had before him are gonna come back when I don't have him. A majority of this year I haven't had like a stable living situation. I haven't had a place where I felt comfortable. I haven't had a place where I felt like it was my own. And now I'm going back to Colorado and I'm moving in with my parents, but they're renovating our house, so I'm gonna be staying in the guest room, and I have none of my own things, and it's a guest room, so like people come and go all the time and it just doesn't feel like mine. And I'm gonna try the best that I can to like make it work, but I'm so worried, and I'm like, every time I think about leaving him I just like start crying. Right now it's December 3rd when I'm filming this. It's going up on the 5th, but I leave the 9th, so that's literally like just days from now. I'm also driving there by myself, and I'm not scared of that because I've driven to Colorado more times than I can count on my own, but I haven't done it in over 2 years because every time I've traveled it's been with John and we fly. So just knowing that in a couple of days I'm gonna have to pack up my car and kiss him goodbye, and then have 13 hours alone to just think about how awful I'm feeling, it's just gonna be really hard. So that's what's happening. Next week I am moving back to Colorado until April prospectively for a job opportunity, which is with COVID and everything, especially in California, everything keeps getting shut down. It is just really hard to find employment unless you've already been employed with someone who's allowing you to work from home. So it just made the most sense for me to leave for a couple of months and work for this company that I got a job offer for, and just like save up and take care of my shit and then come back. But it's gonna be really hard. Anyways, that's the end of today's video, end of today's Vlogmas. And if you're having a hard time or you have a big change coming up in your life, just know that you're not alone. I heard this quote the other day that says, life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. I'm just really holding on to that and trying to view this as not a bad thing. It's gonna be a positive step for the future, positive step for our relationship, but it's gonna hurt. So anyway, subscribe to my channel if you want more Vlogmas content. I promise I don't cry every video, and if this is the first video you're watching for Vlogmas, I am so sorry. But yeah, tag along, subscribe, stay tuned to see kind of how this all plays out, because I really don't know. I know that we are gonna be fine, nothing bad's gonna happen to us or our relationship, but neither of us have really been alone the last 2 years, like at all. And I'm just like worried about leaving him. I know he's a grown man, he can take care of himself, but like I love taking care of him. I love cooking for him. I love surprising him when he gets home from work, surprising him at work. He's my other half. I know everything about him, and I'm just worried to like leave him and like not be here if he needs me for something, you know? Okay, I'm gonna go before I cry anymore, but I will see you guys tomorrow for Vlogmas Day 6.